Okay, so I looked it up, and wow, this is me not trying every method. And by the way, I found out I was right. If I had simply saved the Chargers instead of saving the Dreadnought and preserving the alliance with the Qunari, Bull would have said not a chance and would have stayed with me instead of betraying me. So, yeah, I now kind of regret that decision. At the time I made that decision, I thought that he wanted to remain a Qunari because that would have made him a Tal Vashoth, and when I talked to him earlier in the game, he talked about how much he hates the idea of, being a Tal Vashoth. He's nothing like a Tal Vashoth, or that he despises them, and that he would never want to be one of those. But I guess I should have thought maybe he cares more about the Chargers than whether or not he's Qunari or Tal Vashoth. So, yeah, obviously that's a decision I regret now. And I wish I could go back and change that, but obviously that's not really possible right now. So obviously I regret that decision. So, but I do now know how to save the dragon, and basically I need to use my new anchor power in order to free it. Ow. Anchor power! And let me heal up. Great, Dorian's down. So now I need to figure out how to get the barriers right.
Barriers are
I need
set.
it.
Now we just need to open the gate.
Oh, okay. So apparently the barriers are good. Ah! Stop it! Leave me alone! I'm trying to free you, dragon! Stop poisoning me! Ah! Come on. Oh! That did it! It's free! Go, dragon, be free! Ha!
Hashara!
Oh, if only I could switch out another teammate in my party now. Uh-oh.
Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen-Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
We're not working with them.
The Inquisition has nothing to do with these agents.
Come, Inquisitor. I am the eyes and ears of the Qunari people. Do you think you can deceive me? You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold.
Solas! I knew it! I knew it was
founded
Solas!
The Inquisition. Solas, agent of Fen-Harel.
What?
Yeah, Solas betrayed... Wait, she just said he gave Corypheus the orb? He gave Corypheus the orb. I didn't realize that. He betrayed us?
Solas is an agent of Fen-Harel.
Did you not know? We thought you were his ally. Solas tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Panahayden, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solas will not outlive you.
I doubt that. I doubt you're gonna be the one to end Solas. Oh gosh, is this mark really killing me now? We've got to save Solas. Oh gosh. Oh, man. He may have deceived us into who he really was and left us, but I don't think there was ever this dislike or that he like he betrayed us to our face like Bull did. I want to give him a chance to talk to me, to give me his side of the story. So we've got to save him.
Whatever else, Solas was one of us. I won't leave him for Vidisala.
There you go. Alright, so now I can re-choose my party. Oh, gosh. Yep. He's gone. The Iron Bull is gone. Ugh. Alright, so in that case, we'll take Cassandra. We'll take Dorian. And then, let's see. Either Varric. I could take Tom Rainier, but I already have a tank. I could take Cole. You know what? Let's take Varric. There we go. Oh, Iron Bull. If only I had saved the Chargers. Oh, if only I had saved the Chargers. I hate that I made that decision.
The Vidisala cannot have gotten far.
Overgrown path. Get to Solas before the Vidisala. I doubt we're gonna get to him before they do. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to outrun them. Anchor meltdown. The anchor now builds up power even faster. Using it is difficult, but discharges all accumulated focus. If the focus reaches full power, the anchor discharges uncontrollably, damaging you and your allies as well as nearby enemies. Wow.
If it keeps up like this, it will kill you. Solas must help as he did at Haven.
Chuckles, who apparently works for Fen'Harel. It's always the quiet ones.
Ha. There we go. I'm glad to have Varric back in the group. And he leveled up, so let's give him another point into something. Here we go. Supplies replenished. There we go.
That must be where Solas is.
Oh. And of course he comes through just as we show up. Wow. Okay then. Let's go on through. I like that it waits for me to actually go through the mirror before it fades to black. Oh boy.
There's the big Sarabas who's always with the Vidisala.
Yep. Oh my goodness! Wow! That was some attack! That's what the meltdown ability does? Holy moly! That is insane! It's killing me, but man is it strong. Oh. Boom! Gotcha. Oh, hello there. There we go. Take that, you filth! Oh, I'm on fire! Oh boy! Oh! Is that what happened because I hadn't used any of my abilities? Wow! That's insane. Alright, here we go. We have to be getting to the end here, right? But we still haven't solved the whole Exalted Council thing yet, so... Oh my goodness. Oh! Boom! Oh my goodness. Boom! Wow. Oh, I just threw that just way off. Oh, back away, back away, back away. Sorry, Varric. Ah! Supply cache, and let's go through this one. I also wonder, would he still betray you if you were in a romance with him? Like, if, let's say if I was playing as a female Qunari, and I had romanced Iron Bull, would he still betray me if I had not saved the Chargers? This is where I'm like, oh, all the alternate different decisions and results and consequences that can happen from this.
The big guy's headed our way.
Oh boy. Yes, he is. Let me give him a little taste of that. And boom! Woo-hoo-hoo! There he is. There's the big guy. And boom! Anchor! Sarath. Boom! Ah, where'd he go? Varric, no! Okay, ow.
It seems the Cerebas is no longer following orders.
Uh-oh.
You will not leave here.
Where is she? I'm getting sick and tired of this. particular female Qunari. Still won't face me herself. Woo! Oh my goodness. That is insanely strong. Alright. Do we have a clear path now? Oh. Nope, not at all. Hold on, though. There is an eluvian right here. What if I go through this one?
One of the mirrors must lead out of here.
Hello. And anchor power! Woo! That clears them out so fast. Along with the explosions from the powder. Oh, wow. It's gotta be this one. Let's go up here. Right in the thick of it. And now let me anchor power!
We must hurry.
Woo! Anchor power again! That is so effective. There's an eluvian right there. Oh, I fell off. Get him for me, buddies. Oh, does it keep just building up its power all on its own? Oh, okay, hold on. Alright. Let's go through this particular one. This might be the one. Oh, is that her?
Let us finish this.
Am I finally gonna get to face her one-on-one?
Your soul is dust.
Oh boy. This guy again. Here we go. This is what I want to use. Yeah. What the heck? What, now we got creatures from the Fade coming out? Shades? Do not need that. Whew. Oh wow, we got rifts from the Fade now, opening and bringing out other creatures. Shades, those fire demons. Great. That's just what I need. Ah, he keeps leaping away. Woo! Ah! Anchor power! Almost got him. He's almost done. Alright, here we go. Oh, he ran away.
He's invulnerable. Use your mark.
I will as soon as I'm able to use it again. Here we go. Got him. We did it. We got him. Woo! Alright, let's go through the eluvian. Oh my gosh. Can I save now? Alright, I'm gonna make a save, yeah. Actually, let me make a new save. I just realized I may have saved over the previous one, so. Wait, did I just come through by myself? Did they not make it through? A Qunari statue? Why would that... Oh... Did he turn them all to stone? The Qunari forces that came through? I think this is it.
Kata, etwa ost.
Solas. That's his voice.
Your forces have failed. Leave now
There he
and
is.
tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
She won't give up. Oh my gosh. He did that with just
Solas.
without even looking at her. Hello, Solas, or should I say the Dread Wolf? Ah! Did he just heal my
Give us
hand?
more time. I suspect you have questions.
Yeah? Do you really work for the Fenharel?
The Qunari believe you're an agent for someone who has taken the name Fen Harel.
The Qunari reject myth and legend. If you told them of your meeting with Mythor, they would attribute it to a demon.
That's
I am
true.
no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fen Harel.
You
I was
are
Solas
him.
first. Fen Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose.
Huh.
You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Wow, I can just straight up attack him. You fought for freedom, your life sounded hard. You're like Mythal then? Your life sounded hard.
I saw the stories as we traveled through the eluvians. Are they true?
They are closer than the Dalish legends, though still prone to making me into something more than I am.
I'm so sorry, Solas. What you've seen, I can't imagine.
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever.
He formed the veil.
Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
Wow. So many questions. Why did you form the veil?
You love the Fade. Why would you create the veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
He did it to save the world? He said he felt he had no other better option. Wow. So, let me just clarify this with you. Are the elven gods then not dead?
You banished the false gods? You didn't kill them?
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
So he's saying that them being banished is worse than death. Huh. How did they become gods,
The
so to speak?
Evanurus were elven mages? How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war.
A
War
war?
breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
The veil destroyed the world?
How did creating the veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The elven
Wow.
legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging. It was me.
It was... Oh.
The veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
Wow. I did not know that. Holy moly. We are definitely getting some answers here about certain things in terms of the lore. So how did the gods go too far?
You said that the elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal.
Whoa.
A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
That's
I
why
thought
he
Mythal
banished
was
them.
one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was
Ah.
a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
That's what Flemeth was talking about when we talked to her about when she revealed that she had Mythal within her, about how she was betrayed and that how she would seek revenge. She knew about Mythal's story, and so did Solas. That's what he's talking about, and that's why he helped her. Okay, there's nothing else I can ask, so what happens next?
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Whoa, Solas. Whoa. Why is that necessary?
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You
Why?
have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is
Solas,
my
do
fight.
I have to fight you?
You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
Is it really my Inquisition, though?
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
So he gave him the orb to try and kill him?
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Divinity Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
Wow. So he actually set all this in motion. So what was meant to happen?
What would have happened if Corypheus had died and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
But then the evil gods would have returned, wouldn't they?
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
Truly?
I never thought of you as someone who would do that, Solas.
Me neither.
Thank you.
I thought you were
must
better
understand.
than that.
I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first.
Wow.
You showed me that I was wrong. Again.
I did?
That does not make what must come next any easier.
I appreciate that, but I don't think I can't let you do this, Solas. I hope you understand that.
Whatever your reasons, we couldn't have defeated Corypheus without you.
Your doubts are misplaced. Everything you accomplished, you earned.
So why should I be concerned?
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Isn't it? Perhaps we should ask your friend, the Iron Bull. Tell me,
Oh,
where is
gosh.
he? Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why did you help?
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
Thanks, I guess.
I guess we owe you for that one, too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
What about the eluvians?
You control the eluvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral?
Yes.
For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the eluvians are now mine.
What about my mark?
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
I can either choose, I'm going to redeem you. The Inquisition will try to convince Solas to change his plan. I can't let you do this. The Inquisition will stop Solas, even if it means killing him. I'm going to redeem you.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
I hope that worked. I really hope it worked. I sympathize with him. The way he talked about it. Living in that time, like he said he felt like walking in a world of tranquil, that it was just completely different, how his plans went awry. I mean, think about it. All that happened is mainly because his plans didn't go the way he thought they would. I'm hoping I can give him a chance to redeem himself and to see that he doesn't have to go through with his plan. That it's not inevitable. So what happens now?
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand
Why am I not
on
seeing
the brink
anything?
of war with the Qunari.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
Why am I not seeing an image? Here we go.
We informed the summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization,
Tegan.
none of us would be here to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Where is my hand?
Inquisitor.
Oh, look at the different choices. We serve the Divine, not you. The Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger, but risk corruption. We'll solve this ourselves. The Inquisition will be disbanded. Efforts against Solas will be weaker, but more secure. Our work is done. The Inquisition needs to end. We need more oversight. The Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger, but risk corruption. We will keep the peace. So any of these choices, depending on, it all probably depends on how I say it. It's either the Inquisition will serve Cassandra, and our efforts against Solas will be stronger, but we risk more corruption, or we'll disband the Inquisition, and our efforts against Solas will be weaker, but it will be more secure. So either way, it all will determine what our efforts. Either we'll be able to put forth either weaker or stronger efforts against Solas from destroying the Veil, but it'll be either more secure from corruption or it'll be more corrupt. We'll either be gone or we'll serve Cassandra. Oh gosh. Needs to end or more oversight. Wow, what a choice. Well, oh gosh, what? Wow, I really gotta think about this. We will keep the peace. Our work is done. Huh. I have a feeling that the risk of corruption is probably all that will determine whether or not Solas goes through with it. And I'm hoping that maybe if we lessen the risk of corruption and we lessen our efforts, maybe Solas will realize he doesn't have to go through with it. Oh boy, this is such a tough decision. Wow. And it's interesting how it can be said one of 3 different ways, but yet it's still the same choice. Oh, wow, what a... Oh. How do I make it... This is such a hard choice. Oh, my goodness. More oversight. I don't know. I mean, it's not... I mean, I would trust Cassandra, you know, that we would work for her, but still. You know what? No. I think I've made my decision. The Inquisition needs to end.
You all know what this is. A writ from divine
You know,
destiny.
notice I don't have a hand.
The formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach.
I have one
those
hand.
responsible and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. But if the Inquisition now threatens the very stability it helped create, it is clear our time is done. We will not become what we once fought against. We do not have the luxury of corruption and complacency. If this organization has become too large to do its job, there is only one solution. Effective immediately. The Inquisition is disbanded.
For some reason, I have one hand now. I lost the left hand, the anchor hand. Apparently, I'm either hiding it in my sleeve or Solas made it vanish. But that scene just kind of gets ruined when you see I only have one hand. Same here. What happened to my other hand? What a bug. Looks like we've reached the end here. We're all together. Well, almost all of us. Except for certain Qunari. Looks like our time has... I'm guessing that was Cassandra who came up there at the last second. In short order, the Inquisition was disbanded. Some were relieved to see the unpredictable organization dismantled. Do I manually do this? Oh. And hoping that the peace for which they had fought remained once the Inquisition was gone. With the Dragon's Breath disrupted, the Qunari retreated back to the north, the Ben Hasrath disavowed... They assured Divine Victoria that with the Inquisition disbanded, they considered their alliance to apply here and to her in the Chantry. For few new debates were waged in Parvalen, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against Tevinter. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. The Tevinter soon admired in war. Many feared they could spread across Thetis. Whispers in Valrio suggest the Qunari had asked Divine Victoria to assist them. None yet knew her answer. Cassandra continued her reign as Divine Victoria, working to ensure that the Inquisition disbanding did not allow new enemies to arise. Her efforts were successful, and for a time, Southern Theia saw peace. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunterhorn Mountains on the north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working to a purpose few outside their order could guess. While Divine Victoria could never marry, it was obvious that she remained close to the Inquisitor. Their romance, impossible as it was sincere, became the subject of courtly songs about the woman who went to the Maker, leading the man she loved, but always glancing back and smiling when she saw that he was there. Some believe that the end of the Inquisition, as it had been heralded, the destruction of the fledgling College of Enchanters. Having clashed with the Circle, the college now found itself without support against the newly elected Grand Enchanter Vivienne. Fortunately, Grand Enchanter Vivienne grudgingly agreed not to destroy Seraphite leaders as a personal favor to Divine Victoria. The two Inquisitions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, vying for power. Liliana continued to act as the Inquisition's spymaster in its final months as an independent organization. During this time, she shared many of her responsibilities with her most trusted agents, including Charter, Rector, and Harding. Liliana feared that what lay on the horizon was grooming success and anticipating challenges ahead. Continued her romantic affair with the hero of Ferelden, even though their respective responsibilities often kept them apart. Whenever she could spare the time, Liliana would join her love at a villa on the Waking Sea, the house from Liliana's childhood. Those days were deeply cherished, for both saw the troubles that were to come. So did he never... Sarah left the Inquisition with scarcely more ties than when she began, just bring back into her confusing weave of favors. After seeing the world brought to the brink of arrogance and pride, it was a blessing to return to normal, however strange and normal it might be. This goes by fast! Frequent visits to her widow, of course. What? Perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. When the knobs about the left hand or right, calling Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. Varric took up the role of Viscount and with the help of his friend Hawk, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as a major trade hub of the Free March, so Hawk and him are running things now. Nice. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. Huh. It was never clear if the Iron Bull never knew he would be forced to turn upon the Inquisition or if he was lying the entire time. Regardless, after his death, the Halbashath mercenaries across Orlais and Ferelden were looked upon with suspicion. Those who remained in the south found their lives even harder as a result. After the Inquisition was disbanded, Cullen retired from active service. He returned to Ferelden, establishing a sanctuary for former Templars, and land on Divine Victoria granted him. With his help, many Templars shed their Lyrium addiction, and those whose mind went too far spent their last days in comfort. And he promised that should his friends from the Inquisition ever need him, his blade would be ready. Dorian returned to Tevinter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken as often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Along with Magisterium Mavaris Tilani, he formed a group called the Lusarian to restore peace and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. After those fighting Magisterium Papa's side know that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Whether for vital information or moral support, the talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. After the Exalted Council, Tom Rainier bid farewell to his friends and went to Weishaupt Fortress to pledge himself to the Grey Wardens for good. While he was rarely seen in the years that followed, some said they encountered Rainier in far-flung lands. Their accounts are always similar. Rainier carried out the duty of the Wardens, but always found time to help others along the way. Sometimes he served as a shield to the defenseless, other times he spread simple cheer among children with gifts of small carved toys. With the Inquisition disbanded, Josephine made her farewells and returned to Antiva and her family. She was soon approached by an agent from the House of Repose, whose assassins had been killed by Inquisition agents on Josephine's behalf. Far from being offended, the House of Repose were inquiring as to whether Josephine might have had need of their services. She quickly persuaded them that they need no assassins, but instead hired them as guards for the Montilier's new trading vessels. Of any pirates looking to rekindle an ancient feud, the Montilier's ships were not lightly boarded, and her house prospered greatly. Cole returned to the Phage, saying that there was more pain coming, and that he knew where compassion would be most needed. He promised his friends Inquisition would remember him, and that they were hurt the greatest he would help. After the events of the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across Thedas. None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fen'Harel wondered just how large the Dreadwolf's forces were, and what the ancient elven rebel had planned. Forever Marked. Again, why am I not seeing the hand? What a ridiculous bug that I'm having now. This looks so silly. Apparently the hand is supposed to be acting up, and it's glitched out where I can't even see the hand.
My agents have found nothing. With the eluvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
Nice to see you in your armor, Cassandra.
We will need to be careful.
Solas knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself, if we can.
The Tevinter Imperium. Wow. And that's how it ends? That's how this story ends. Bit of an odd ending there. Unless that is the game's way of telling me that the next game, I'm guessing maybe Dragon Age 4, that game will then take place in the Tevinter Imperium. Well, I gotta say, this DLC, fortunately, I mean, it didn't quite hit everything that I was hoping for. I mean, I guess I was just kind of spoiled. They kind of spoiled us Mass Effect fans, because Mass Effect 3's Citadel DLC, it hit a lot of things that a lot of us absolutely loved about the series. It let us be able to reenact, getting to meet up with all the companions and characters that we had met along the way. We got to have fun with them, have a party and such, get to reminisce about good old times. And it was just one of those, it was a ton of fan service, and it, got you right in the heart. This one, it was pretty good. I mean, I would say this was definitely the best DLC that this game has had. Definitely better than Descent and Jaws of Hakon. I mean, leading up to that final sequence with Solas, I mean, there wasn't really necessarily anything resolved other than, I guess, the fate of the Inquisition itself. I mean, we've disbanded it now, and it was just cool. It was cool getting a little epilogue there about certain characters. I'm still upset at myself for what happened to Iron Bull. I really wish I could go back and change that choice to see how that turned out. But yeah, I mean, they said this was going to be the last DLC for this, which is both kind of disappointing but understandable. I mean, if this is how it's supposed to end, I guess this is once again one of those things where it's setting up for the next part of the story. As usual with these games, the story isn't over. You know, just like in other Dragon Age games, you never really feel like it's concluded. It's more so always setting it up for the next game. I mean, Dragon Age Origins had its kind of own separate ending where you can be like, okay, this was a nice little separate story on its own, even though it was saying that, oh, no, there are other stories that are ready to be told in the future. So you had an inclination that there would be a sequel, and then there was.
A new book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking?
Oh, okay. Alright, and, oh yeah, the 4 different people who do the voices for, oh, hold on.
Like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day, comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition.
This is a funny little bit. Listening to Cassandra read one of Varric's newest books. But yes, amazing credit to all the voice cast. Oh, hold on.
The silence like it owed the Carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine.
Oh, Varric, you and your storytelling. I'm wanting to kind of give my full thoughts about this DLC and this game as a whole with this, but Cassandra keeps interrupting me.
Beautiful poison spreading in a wine glass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet.
I don't think she's done.
Liliana enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death.
Well, great credit to the voice actress for Cassandra for doing this bit for the credits.
Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor. They mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic.
Oh, yes, amazing credit to her for then doing this where she's trying to actually reenact the voices of the other characters.
Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says.
Is there anything more?
Place your herald above the law, ambassador. Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law.
We are the law. I am the law. Surprised she didn't try and do a Stallone there.
We left our mark on adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening here?
Cassandra and her romance novels. Or is it a romance novel? I'm not really sure.
The Iron Bull was
those
a
are her
great
favorites to read,
slab
so.
of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually.
Varric's a fantastic writer. He always has been. He knows how to tell stories and tell characters in his books.
The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen!
No kidding. I only caught her first name when the cast went up again. I think it's Miranda something. But she's doing a great job in this bit in the credits. I'm glad they got her to do it.
A class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian. He glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible.
She could have done a better Dorian there. Like, oh, it's Dorian. D-O-R-I-N. You better spell it right.
Elf spun, made
that's how I would have done it.
Like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric.
And looks like that's it.
Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me? That dwarf, he put me in the book. Oh, I'm in the book. I am reading the shit out of this.
Oh, that was a great bit. I'm so glad they did that for the credits. Alright. Well, that took up the time I was going to use, but that's alright. Ooh, a message from... Is this a message from the developers? To all of you who played Dragon Age Inquisition, who laughed, cried, and reached out on social media, who made fan art, and comics, and cosplay, and jokes, thank you. Dragon Age Inquisition was a labor of love. Without you... Oh, come on! I didn't know that was going to fade away. Well, I'm going to have to go back and read that. It was from the Dragon Age team, but it was a thank you letter. So it was similar to the letter at the end of the Mass Effect 3, at the end of the ending DLC. As a way... Oh, so then you can't continue afterwards. So once you do that, it's over. Your time with that character is done. Unless you go back to a previous save file. Alright, so... Well, that was a nice little thank you letter, even though I didn't get to finish reading it, you know, from the Dragon Age team. But I like that. I like it when a development team wants to give out thank you letters to the players, to recognize that without the support of the gamers and players out there who support these series like I do, I'm a vehement supporter of the Mass Effect series and the Dragon Age series. I think they are two of my favorite series ever. And I love little things like that when they give out, you know, they add in thank you notes there to those who play and support their series. So, as I was trying to say, you know, during the credits, this is definitely, I really, really liked this DLC. It definitely provides some closure, so to speak, even though nothing necessarily ends. It's more so like, it does establish what the fate of the Inquisition as as a organization itself is, which is pretty amazing considering where we started. You know, like this scene here, how we see the Temple of Sacred Ashes there, knowing that how it all started way back when, and that it ends with the Inquisition getting disbanded, and that we don't really know what the ultimate fate will be. Obviously, that's something I think they're saving up for the next game, which I'm sure is being developed on right now, and we won't get maybe for another 3 years, I'm guessing. That's usually how these things usually go. Either 2 or 3 years from now, we'll probably get the next game, which, based on what I saw there in that ending, it may take place in the Tevinter Imperium, because that may be a very big place onto where that will all take place. So, let me turn this down a bit. Even though I love the theme here. I don't want it to get a copyright or anything, so. But, not to mention, we also got to find out what is going to be the ultimate fate in terms of... I mean, obviously, that is a decision that will play into the next game, in terms of what happened to the Inquisition and their efforts against Solas, because it wouldn't tell me about what our efforts against Solas would be, and the risk of corruption, or being more secure, unless it was going to play a big factor into the next game. So, I would say this was definitely a high note for the game to end on, that it actually ends the story of the Inquisition, the fact that you can't continue afterwards, that you would have to reload a save file from before you started the DLC in order to do other stuff, but so that there's nothing else you can do. And I guess also those epilogues were cool, you know, about some of the characters, even though it was going by really fast and I was having to really read that. So you'd have to go back and pause to really read that slowly if you want. It was cool that, like, it said that Leliana was getting to go see the hero Ferelden and spend time with him, which is what I was hoping for. And, like, you know, a lot of the different things about the characters I was hoping for in terms of their own personal story arcs. I guess a lot of them turned out fine. It was cool to hear that apparently both Varric and Hawke are both helping run things in Kirkwall, which obviously would be different if I had sacrificed Hawke in the Fade instead of Stroud. But that's, you know, that's another cool fate there. I'm trying to wrap things up here, give my full thoughts, because about this DLC. Basically, my final verdict for this DLC is it's definitely a great way to end the game on. That once you've done as much as you can, you definitely save this for last and have it end on a high note. Obviously, depending on what your decisions throughout the game had been, affects a number of different things. Like, what if I had been playing as a female elf and had romance Solas? Would that have changed things? What if I had been playing as a female Qunari and romance Iron Bull? Would that have changed whether or not he would have betrayed me? If I had, played... No, I mean, if I had romanced certain other people, if I had made Leliana divine instead of Cassandra, if I had made Vivienne the divine instead of either Cassandra or Leliana, how would that have changed, having Vivienne be the divine? Different things like that. There's so many different things that can be changed depending on your choices, which adds even more replayability to this game, encouraging you to play through this game again, but making different choices, playing as a different race or as a different gender and as a different class, the different types of choices that you can make. It was silly, though, there, that in that end I had that glitch where it didn't even show the hand with the mark. I don't know why that was. That was a ridiculous-looking glitch. But I really enjoyed this DLC, and it's a nice way to end this series. Or not this series, but this particular game, as we will now have to wait for who knows how long until the next Dragon Age game, which inevitably is going to come out based on that ending. Because they can't end the series like this. There's so many things that are left unanswered, especially having to do with Solas. And you know what? I also want to say that if there are any other YouTubers out there that are doing playthroughs of this and have not really finished the game, but also maybe you're not sure about getting the DLCs, I would say you don't necessarily have to get Descent or Jaws of Hakon. You won't miss much. But definitely do this DLC because, boy, that whole thing with Solas, it definitely brings it to a front. And it's definitely, I think, a mandatory DLC to play. This one is. As it brings up... It answers some things, but it also brings up some other questions, and it sets things up for the next game. And I guarantee you that whatever choices you made in this is going to play a factor in the next game, just as the decisions from the previous two games played a factor in this game. So, you know that, you guys know that I love this series. I love this franchise to death. I love this game. This one definitely one of my favorite games, and I'm very hopeful, and excited for the next game in the series whenever that comes out. But you know that I will definitely be covering it when it comes out, whenever that is, whether it's 2 or 3 years from now, who knows. I'm just anticipating and hopeful that it's going to be just as amazing as this one was. So until then, this has been my playthrough of, specifically this playthrough was of the Trespasser DLC, but since they said this is the last one, this is going to be it. This is going to be it for the content for Dragon Age Inquisition on this channel, and obviously we'll have to wait until the next game, whenever that comes out. But until then, my fellow fans of Dragon Age, this has been my playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. If you haven't seen my playthrough of the main game, the main campaign of Inquisition, feel free to go check that out, as well as my playthroughs of the previous 2 Dragon Age games, Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. Those are all up and done. And until then, until the next Dragon Age game, my name is DJ Neeks, and I will see you guys next time.